On Osrc News at 7, INEC declares Lucky Aiyedatiwa of the All Progressives Congress winner of Ondo gubernatorial election. Governor Aiyedatiwa vows to redouble efforts for Ondo State's growth following electoral victory. President Tinubu confers GCON award on Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And from the foreign team, Israeli airstrike kills 50 in North Gaza's Beit Lahiya.
Good evening and thanks for joining us on the news tonight. I am Sahid Arabisala. We begin tonight with the outcome of the governorship election held yesterday in Ondo State, where the Independent National Electoral Commission has declared the candidate of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, as the winner of the just concluded Ondo governorship election. The announcement followed the collation of votes from across the 18 local government areas. The returning officer for the election and Vice Chancellor, University of Lokoja, Professor Olayemi Akinwumi, said Aiyedatiwa scored the highest votes and was returned elected. Sunday Kolaoli has more.
From the 203 wards across 3,933 polling units, the people of Ondo State filed out in an election to determine who governs the state in the next 4 years. After the ballots and sorting of votes, attention shifted to the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC headquarters in Akure, Ondo State capital, which served as the state collation center for the election. One after the other, electoral officers for each local government took turns to declare results from their respective areas of supervision.
PDP 7814, PRP 5.
The exercise, which spilled over into Sunday, November the 17th, was however concluded after results from the 18 local government areas were collated and announced in the presence of party agents, security operatives, as well as journalists. The returning officer for the election and Vice Chancellor, University of Lokoja, Professor Olayemi Akinwumi, took charge at exactly 1:58 p.m. to declare the final results of political parties. The All Progressives Congress APC polled 366,781 votes, while the Labour Party polled 1,162 votes. The People's Democratic Party PDP polled 117,845 votes, while the Zenith Labour Party ZLP polled 2,692 votes.
Aiyedatiwa Lucky Orimisan of APC 366781.
It was then time for the official declaration of the winner.
APC, having satisfied the requirement of the law, is hereby declared the winner and is returned elected.
Agents of the All Progressives Congress APC, Ade Adetimehin, and that of the PDP, Olani Ogunbuji, reacted to the conduct and outcome of the election.
My take on the reaction of the election is this. There is no time the election has been highly induced like this. APC has deployed over 38 billion into this election and buying over the conscience of the electorate. Well, if this is the future of this nation or the future of the state, I think we have a long way to go.
Can you react to the allegation that your party bought votes to be able to get this number of votes?
I've said that nobody can prove that. Nobody. What we got is what the people gave back to us. They depend so much on us. And this state is always a progressive state.
Total number of votes cast in the election was 508,963 votes, of which 497,077 votes were valid, while 11,886 votes were rejected. Sunday Kolaole, Osrc News.
Ondo State Governor and candidate of the All Progressives Congress APC in the just concluded 2024 gubernatorial election, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, says his victory at the poll is a challenge by the people of the state to redouble efforts towards promoting overall growth and development. Governor Aiyedatiwa thanked and appreciated President Bola Tinubu for providing leadership and direction, also expressed gratitude to leaders of the party at all levels. The governor, who renewed his commitment to advance the state while improving the well-being and welfare of residents, promised to run an inclusive administration. Government's correspondent Wahab Bankole provides more insight into the happenings at the Government House Banquet Hall in Accra.
This summed up the mood at the banquet hall of the Government House in Akure, the Ondo State capital, following the declaration of the 2024 governorship election result by the electoral body, INEC. The banquet hall hosted leaders and stalwarts of the All Progressives Congress, APC, including the National Chairman, Abdullahi Ganduje, Chairman of the National Campaign Council and Governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, and governors of Ogun, Ekiti, Imo, Benue, Zamfara, and other top government functionaries from within and outside the Sunshine State. The winner of the election and candidate of the APC, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, in his reactions, thanked God Almighty for the success. Aiyedatiwa, who also expressed gratitude to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for providing quality leadership and direction, said the people have challenged him to redouble his efforts with the massive votes and victory of his party.
The type that has never happened before in Ondo State. 18 local government to 0 for the opposition. And that also puts a lot of burdens on me to be able to deliver on our promises. Not just promises, references that we made. Because when we were out there during campaign, we were not just making empty promises or what we cannot do to the people. We were making reference for them to look at what we have been able to do in the last 10 months that we assume office, that if we can do that within 10 months, giving us the mandate again to continue beyond 2025, we will do more for them. Gratitude to the citizens of Ondo State who actually decided who should remain as governor or who should be their governor. But they have made a choice and given me a renewed mandate to continue as their governor beyond 2025. It shows that the people of Ondo State City, they value the work we have done in the last 10 months since I assumed office as governor. We have touched almost every sector of the society, with our services to the people. In education, in health sector, in security, most importantly. Ondo State have been regarded or adjudged to be one of the safest and peaceful states in Nigeria. And the same thing we experienced during this last election. The election was so peaceful. And that is the character of our people. They know who they want. They know both of us in terms of our character, integrity, disposition, and what we stand for.
Aiyedatiwa renewed his commitment to make the state envy of rivals in terms of growth and development, which are promised to run inclusive administration.
The people should expect better service, and that's what they've been looking forward to, because I campaigned across the entire 18 local government. The only candidate that went through or campaigned or traversed the entire 18 local government, not just the capital city of the local government, all communities, almost all the communities, we visited them. We see the roads, the way they look like, the environment they are living in. We heard their voices, we read their messages, and we listened and responded to questions and their yearnings and aspirations. So they have that belief that their hope is in me. Follow to our administration, definitely will bring them on board, irrespective of political party. The most important thing is the people, the state, the land, and the people. Developing the state, empowering the people. That is most important. Providing an enabling environment for the state to develop by investors. That is very important in terms of adding value to developmental processes that we're going to put in place. Definitely we'll bring them in.
The governor reassured of his dedication to providing quality leadership while sustaining the impactful governance at all levels. Wahab Bankole, Osrc News.
Meanwhile, the victory of the All Progressives Congress APC in Saturday's election has been described as an indication of the acceptance of the party by the people of Ondo State. Some leaders and members of the party at both the national and state levels, including the Minister of Interior Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, National Chairman of the party Abdullahi Ganduje, while congratulating the standard bearer of the party for the victory, said all hands must be on deck to ensure that more dividends of good governance reach the masses. Governors correspondent Wahab Bankole again has the details.
For the first time in the political history of the Sunshine State, the All Progressives Congress APC and its candidate Lucky Aiyedatiwa won in all the 80 local government areas of the state in the just concluded governorship election. Speaking with newsmen after the result was announced by the electoral umpire INEC, the Minister of Interior Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, while congratulating the winner and his party, described the victory as a call for more service. The minister, who hails from the Sunshine State, called for more support of the people for the Aiyedatiwa administration.
This victory is a testament to the belief of members of indigenes of Ondo State in the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. You know, don't let us forget that this is the first gubernatorial election in Southwest under the Tinubu presidency. So it shows that this is a referendum of Asiwaju's leadership. It's a referendum and approval of Lucky Aiyedatiwa's leadership of Ondo State. And for me, you know, when your president, you know, is been, you know, confirmed by the people, you know, to be acceptable. And of course, the leader of all of us in this state, our own leader, the amiable governor, and the people of Ondo State now have made a statement. During the primaries, it was partisan. It was just an APC issue. But now, it's all about all parties, even non-carrying, card-carrying members of all parties. So the whole people of Ondo State, the kings, the chiefs, the students, the workers, everybody had opportunity yesterday. And guess what? He set a record. No governor in the history of Ondo State, either old Ondo or new or whatever, no governor has ever scored 18-0, has ever won all our local government. He became the first man to set that mark. It shows you that the support base of APC in Ondo State is to the grassroots. It's intrinsic.
The national chairman of the party, Abdullahi Ganduje, and chairman of the National Campaign Council, who doubles as the governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, and other members of the party said the APC would not betray the trust and confidence of the people of Ondo State.
That's that victory for him and for the people of Ondo State. For me, it's just an assignment that we're grateful that the party has given us the opportunity to serve it once again, and we did continue to do the very best at all times.
And this is democracy in action. But what is more important is that all the major stakeholders in conducting this election believe that the election is free, fair, and credible.
This is the best day of the year for us. And personally, the state is going to move forward because Mr. Government is going to show his appreciation to the people by doing infrastructure that made them happy so that they will not regret voting him for this time around.
The ruling party recorded a total of 366,781 votes to win the governorship election. Wahab Bankole, Osrc News.
We're due to take a break on the news, and after the break, we will take you to the northern senatorial districts of the state for reactions of electorate on Saturday's election process. Stay with us. Thank you for rejoining us. You can watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng, and on YouTube you can subscribe to our channel. Osrc TV, Ondo. To more stories now, voters in the northern senatorial zone of Ondo State have called on the winner of the Ondo State governorship election to prioritize entrenching good governance for a better living condition of the people. Some of the voters who came out to exercise their civic duty in various units in the area, despite discussions, expressed confidence in the process. The election process in the zone was, however, not devoid of hiccups due to late arrival of INEC officials and equipment functionality. Let's more on this report.
Attention shifted to the various polling units in the Northern Senatorial District after a series of efforts to canvass votes by the political actors. In Osrc local government area, voters were out to exercise their franchise as evident at Idoani 2, Ward 3, Unit 6, and at Ishua Ikpe Ward 3, Unit 8, where voting commenced on time.
I think voting is seamless. I didn't spend up to 2 minutes. The accreditation went smoothly. Voting was smooth. And that's all.
Late arrival of the election officials was, however, witnessed at Okeafo, Unit 3, Ward 1, where the process began after 9 a.m. under a peaceful atmosphere.
We expect about 5 policemen here. We only had 1. They came here at about 9. Because the INEC who had been at Afosin yesterday could not see escort security to pilot them here.
The peaceful atmosphere was also present at Unit 2, Ward 15, Okede Baptist Day School, Obakoko, but with concerns over the functionality of the bimodal voter accreditation system machine for senior citizens.
The weather is too hot, but the turnout is good.
The accreditation process is a bit slow. Especially for older people. You could see it took me probably about a minute, but it takes older people 5, 6, 7 trials. We're hoping that, in subsequent elections, at least INEC can improve on that aspect.
At Shukpari Akoko, Unit 5, Ward 11, Ogogon, and Unit 5, Ward 12 in Akungba Akoko, the exercise was adjudged as smooth by the electorate.
Nobody giving anybody money here, and we are voting for our opinions here.
I'm not expecting anything less than what's happening now.
At Unit 10, Ishakumi Edo Ward, and Unit 11, Ward 2, Iyometa Ikare a seamless process was recorded as voters concluded their civic duty ahead of the stipulated deadline.
So the security, they do their job in accordance with the laws and regulations of the election.
The election was very peaceful. It's just like 1993 election.
We see that
Akoko North is very peaceful. The turnout of voters looks probably more than what it used to be.
The situation was, however, not the same at Unit 4, Araromi Ward 2 in Ikare Akoko, where voting continued beyond 3 p.m.
Time check, it's 3:25 p.m. on election day, and right here at Unit 004, Ward 2, Araromi in Ikare Akoko, you'll find a number of voters still on queue, hoping to exercise their franchise.
I'm here around 11 o'clock. The time now is 3:25. I did not vote, but I'm expecting to cast my vote before I left this place. The reason is that the machine is not working.
At the conclusion of the exercise, across the 608 polling units in the 4 local government areas of Akoko North East, Akoko Northwest, Akoko Southwest, and Akoko Southeast, the electorate are expectant that the winner of the election will champion good governance and entrench democratic principles. Sahid Aribisala, Osrc News.
To more reactions on the conduct of Saturday's governorship election in Ondo State, the Albino Foundation, TAF Africa, has identified challenges faced by persons with disabilities in the just concluded Ondo State governorship election. The founder, TAF Africa, J.K. Pele, noted that non-deployment of critical assistive tools at several polling units hindered some persons with disability from exercising their franchise. Joy Pius reports that the foundation called for more improvement in the electoral process to ensure inclusivity and accessibility for persons with disabilities.
The Albino Foundation, TAF Africa, engaged journalists in Ondo State to give feedback on the overall assessment experience of voters with disabilities during the Ondo State governorship election. Giving the preliminary report, the founder, Albino Foundation TAF Africa, Jake Epele, reviewed critical gaps noticed and challenges encountered by persons with disabilities.
Part of our commitment to promoting the electoral rights of persons with disability in Nigeria, we deployed 20 stationary citizen observers and 5 roving media observers to select polling units with registered voters with disability across Ondo State for today's governorship election. This deployment focused on assessing the overall experience of voters with disability and ensuring compliance with the provision of Electoral Act 2022, Section 54, subsection 1 and 2.
The Foundation's Senior Communication Officer, Lynn Aguncha, outlined key observations to include vote buying and electoral malpractices, non-provision of assistive tools, and inconsistent priority voting.
INEC failed to deploy critical assistive tools at several polling units, contrary to the requirements of the Electoral Act. Drill ballot guide, this was not provided in polling units with registered blind voters, such as polling units St. Thomas's Church 1, PU code 029, Bogi Isikan, Akure South.
The Joint National Chairman, Association of Persons Living with Disabilities, Ondo State Chapter, Abiodun Oluwasegun, recommended the need to strengthen inclusiveness of persons with disabilities in future elections.
Train electoral officer, that is, provide comprehensive training for polling officials on the rights and needs of PWDs to eliminate inconsistencies in priority voting and ensure compliance with disability inclusive policies.
The Independent National Electoral Commission, civil society organizations, and all stakeholders were urged to work towards addressing these challenges and building a true inclusive electoral system. Joy Pius, Osrc News.
The Center for Democracy and Development, CDD West Africa, an election observer group for the Ondo State governorship polls, has released a preliminary statement on the conduct of the elections across the state. The lead CDD observation mission, Ondo 2024, Professor Victor Aditula, highlighted cases of vote buying and inducements during the voting process. Joe Pius now completes the story.
The Center for Democracy and Development, CDD West Africa, after the Ondo governorship election, provides journalists with insights into the electoral process as provided by observers on the field across the state. The team lead, CDD Observation Mission Ondo 2024, Professor Victor Aditula, and Director, CDD West Africa, Dr. Daudu Garba, in a preliminary statement on the conduct of the 2024 Ondo State governorship election, presented by Oluseyi Awojulugbe, a member of the group, highlighted challenges observed and assessed the overall integrity. The report commended the prompt arrival of electoral officers at polling units as well as voters' comportment during the election.
The CDD-ESC commends the prompt arrival of electoral officials at polling units, with 99% of our observers reporting that the INEC officials were at their stations before 8:30 a.m. CDD commends voters in Ondo for the calm and peaceful manner in which they have conducted themselves all through this process so far.
The report explained that the group observed the presence of security agencies at all polling units, contributing to crowd control. However, minimal efforts were made to prevent vote buying and open campaigning at the polling units.
CDD-ESC notes that 8.8% of our observers saw agents canvassing for votes near the polling units, including the presence of campaign posters, people soliciting for votes, wearing materials with party logos and materials, as well as some agents actively buying votes.
The report also has it that The election recorded lower incidents of disinformation and information manipulation as compared to other polls.
The CDD Countering Disinformation War Room has been closely watching online and offline spaces with the objective of tracking and fact-checking fake news and misinformation. The number of false narratives, claims, and counterclaims in the Ondo State governorship election has been relatively low when compared to other recent polls.
The Center for Democracy and Development urged all stakeholders in the electoral process to ensure adherence to the rule of law and due process as the election, collation, and declaration of results lead to the points of conclusion. Joy Pius, Osrc News.
Residents of Ondo State have commended the conduct of the just concluded governorship election, saying it was relatively peaceful. Those who spoke with Osrc said the exercise was peaceful, free and fair, as residents conducted themselves with maturity before and during the exercise. Omorola Mbuji has details.
The off-cycle governorship election in Ondo State was conducted on Saturday, November 16, 2024, in all the polling units across the 18 local government areas of the state. According to the outcome of the election, All Progressives Congress won in all the 18 local government areas with 366,781 against 117,845 pulled by the People's Democratic Party. Now that the result is announced, residents heave a sigh of relief, congratulating the governor, Lucky Ayedatiwa.
Now, people have been scared or being, a little bit panic because they were aware that many things can happen during the election. But we thank God that as of today, as you can see, everybody is going back, they are resuming back to their duties, and the atmosphere is okay. So we thank God that the election was a truly free.
I think the election was peaceful, and everyone is currently going on. Probably tomorrow night, work is starting fully. So it was peaceful, sir. There wasn't. I think I've not heard about any violence at anywhere. So it was peaceful.
They encouraged him to reciprocate the love shown him by citizens of the state and provide more dividends of democracy.
Kó ṣe dáadáa ni o, ní ìrètí mi. Kó because báwọn ará ìlú ti fẹ́ràn ẹ̀.
The state of this state now, we need rapid development. So, though we believe in him, and we are speak through our elections, through our vote that we trusted him.
I traveled home for the election.
Mr. Adeleye Oni was just returning from his community where he went to exercise his civic responsibility, and others wants Governor Ayedatiwa to continue with the ongoing projects of his predecessor for the growth of the state.
So there should be a continuity of those projects. I don't encourage abandoned projects because government comes, government go. If he does this now and he left some project undone, one way or the other, someone will come again. If that person abandoned his own project, how will he feel like?
Dr. Gbenga Bimbola wants the elected governor to carry all citizens along in his government, irrespective of political affiliations, to build the state.
Now that a winner has emerged, we want to urge the governor who has won the election to be magnanimous in victory and to carry everybody along. Let me appeal to those who contested the polls with him, all the other candidates, that Ondo State is greater than all of us. Let us team up and build the state we deserve.
As at the time of filing this report, businesses and economic activities have returned fully across the state. Omoriola Mbiji, Osrc News.
President Bola Tinubu has conferred the national honor of the Grand Commander of the Order of Niger, GCON, on the Indian Prime Minister, Narendra Modi. President Tinubu bestowed the honor on the Prime Minister during the Nigeria-India bilateral meeting held at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. He said that the award was bestowed on the Indian leader to signify Nigeria's appreciation and commitment to the Nigerian-Indian partnership. The Nigerian leader added that the invitation to the Indian Prime Minister was to rekindle and reclassify existing relationship between Nigeria and India. Commiserating with Nigeria over the recent floods that ravaged several cities across the country, including the Maiduguri major flood incident, the Indian Prime Minister promised to support Nigeria with 20 tons of relief materials. Modi said this is to support the administration of President Tinubu on its ongoing humanitarian efforts. And outside Nigeria, at least 50 people have been killed in an Israeli strike in northern Gaza's Beit Lahia city. Reports say Israeli forces struck a multi-story residential building housing 6 forcibly displaced Palestinian families in Beit Lahia. The Ministry of Health's Director General Munir al-Bursh stated that almost 30% of the victims of massacre were children. They said dozens of others were wounded and many more are feared trapped under rubble. And to end the news tonight, another look at the major stories. We told you that the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has announced Lucky Aiyedatiwa as the winner of the Ondo gubernatorial race, securing 366,781 votes. And also, the governor's promised to redouble efforts for Ondo State's growth following his victory in the 2024 governorship election. And that's the news tonight. Thanks for watching. Good evening.